What is going on, everybody? What's going on? This is Dennis Smith of the Alternate Timeline. How we doing? How we doing? It's Guardians Day. May the fourth be with you. It's Star Wars Day for real, for real. May the fourth be with you. Yeah, man. Galaxy far, far away. But tonight is a galaxy that is guarded by the Guardians of that galaxy. Our family, our last ride, our last hoorah with the Guardians of the Galaxy. How are we feeling? Let me turn some music. On. Let me see. That feels Guardians like. Hype for that soundtrack though. Hype for the Guardians soundtrack. That's gonna be a good one. I saw Earth, Wind, and Fire's on that soundtrack. I can't wait for that song to come on. I'm in there. I'm about to do a poll real quick too. See if I can let's see. Man, all right, let's get to talking about Guardians. Let's get to talking about it, cause it's here, man. James Gunn, the final. It's the trilogy, man. The finale of the trilogy, and you know, I want to start off with James Gunn. This is his baby, right? And he says he sees a lot of himself in Rocket in this story here, which is because he's been posting a lot of Rocket stuff, a lot of Rocket. I know he's like the main character of this story, but like been posting a lot of like baby Rocket stuff and a lot of cute stuff. So yeah, man, he's trying to get us ready for the waterworks, man. We're definitely going to be a mess in this movie. Just, gotta wipe us up off the floor type of mess. It might get like that in the theater. I'm expecting to hear a lot of sniffling in the theater today. Yeah, like just James Gunn and the Guardians trilogy. He might go down because from the reactions, this is going to be a really good movie. It's gonna be a solid movie, right? And based on that, I'm like, okay, so he might have one of the better MCU trilogies out there. He might have the best MCU trilogy out there. This is said and done. A lot of people will fight you on that. Like, people will say that. And so if he does this, and this movie's damn good, right? Say he goes to DC and revives DC and starts getting a lot of bangers over there in DC, just hits. And like, if he does that, coming from Marvel and then going to DC and doing that, you might have to have that conversation about James Gunn, man. I have faith in him though. I have faith in him that he's going to, because I think that, I know a lot of people are very like, he doesn't fit the tone of some of these DC movies, like he's too silly and all that kind of stuff. I think that James Gunn is a comic book fan. I think that he knows what to do. I don't think he's going to bring like the same tone with every movie, right? Like, I'm pretty sure he's going to be okay. He knows what he's doing. I think he might do it, man, and I think we might have to have that conversation about James Gunn. Like, he might be on some Mount Rushmore conversations after it's said and done. If he, if this movie here is a banger, and then he goes over to DC and just has a whole universe over there, and that's a banger, we could be talking about him for a minute. Like, he's up there, right? And I hope he does it. Man. I think he's got the will to do it. So that's kind of where I wanted to start, man. And then just like the reactions seem very, very positive. I didn't go over like when everybody was doing the screening or during the premiere. I didn't go through like all of the reviews and stuff. I feel like I was busy doing something, but I saw like a solid amount. I was like, okay, a lot of people are really enjoying this movie, which is great to hear. It's great to hear because but this movie, man, like coming off the back of Quantumania, which a lot of people are like up and down about. It'd be nice for Marvel to have a win, man. It'd be nice for Marvel to have another win. So with all the stuff that's come out about Marvel lately, like the reshoots, the rewriting, castings, and things that are happening and behind doors and stuff like that, behind closed doors, and just a lot of firings and just a lot of things going on with Marvel right now that aren't like in the best of lights, right? So I think that this movie, it'd be really nice to have a win here. Now with that being said, I predicted this in one of my other lives on one of my Sunday lives, is that I think that this is also like kind of a lose-lose situation for Marvel too, because while all that the bull crap is going on, you got your boy leaving, right? James Gunn is leaving to DC. So if this is a good movie, I can already see, I've said this before, I can already see like people saying, yo, like it's going to be an L because you're losing your best person, or like somebody that just created something really good, one of your better like trilogies, one of your better franchises. He's leaving to go into DC, so they're gonna be like, oh man, like people are going to flip that and say that's an L. And if it fails, it's already like it's a Marvel property anyway. Like they're gonna say, oh, it's Marvel's going down the drain or whatever. Like I can definitely see it being a lose-lose situation. I bet that conversation is going to be had, or that kind of talk will be had on Twitter or wherever. That once people go see this and people realize it's a good movie, they're gonna be like, well, they're losing the guy that made it, so what can Marvel do? I can definitely see that happening. Yeah, I've been a lot of best movies since Endgame stuff, a lot of best this, best that. I get that. James Gunn is really good, and the Guardians movies are really good, and he's really propped up these characters that nobody really knew of beforehand, right? So I understand, people are hyped for it. Like people really resonate with the Guardians, and I get that. I don't love saying it's the best since Endgame. Like we've had some really good highs in that last phase. We had some really good highs, man. Like I don't like Wakanda Forever. People still, to me, are like, I don't get why that movie's not. I feel like it's being passed over when we're talking about really good movies. Like Wakanda Forever is really, really, really good. Watched that one a couple of times, and I'm like, yeah, man, with the Tyler Collins and Namor and all that, and just that movie was really good. No Way Home, man. No Way Home happened since Endgame, and we all know how that went. So saying best since Endgame is crazy to me. And also, I've been seeing people say like we're gonna cry more than any movie since Endgame, or any movie, MC movie period. Like it's gonna be up there. Which again, like Wakanda Forever, I was bawling my eyes out Wakanda Forever, right? Like there's some moments where I'm like, damn, this is tough. This is tough. And then welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. How we doing? Are you guys excited to see Guardians tonight, if you're going to see tonight? But yeah, like I was bawling during Wakanda Forever, right? And people were like, nah, this one's gonna make you cry more. I'm like, what? How? Like how? Like I was really crying over a real person in Wakanda Forever. But I have some. I could see it though. Like I can see. I'll get into it a little bit later with like the villain and the tinkering and all that stuff. So I can understand why a lot of people will feel that way. But for me, I'm like, ain't gonna make me cry more than Kind of Forever. I don't know. Um, but yeah, man. One thing I'm looking forward to. Um, I've also been seeing Great Villain, Shakudia Wuji, Shakudia Wuji, Shakudia Wuji. I think is how you say it. Heard he's a great villain, man. I've been seeing even like best villain since Thanos. A lot of like best since this, right? Best since that. I've been hearing a lot of that, and I'm like, man. Again, like I hope so. I hope so. Because to me, I've always been saying like some of these movies lack a really good villain. Um, and for him to be, from what I've heard, like creepy, and maybe he's not like terrifying because he's like strong or whatever, but like he's the way he thinks is like sadistic almost. And I'm definitely down for that, man. I'm ready to see how he kills this role, High Evolutionary. Definitely ready for that. Because I mean, I think a great villain can make a great superhero movie. Uh, Very big on that. We've had villain conversations on the channel all the time, and very excited for this villain and villains to come in phase 5 and 6. Honestly, I think we got some pretty special ones to look forward to. Next thing, dude, soundtrack. I think I mentioned before, like soundtrack is a staple for James Gunn and for the Guardians of the Galaxy. Very excited to see or hear, just to listen to that soundtrack when some of these scenes come on and stuff, and wondering what they're going to pair some of these scenes with, what songs and stuff. It's going to be cool, man. It's going to be cool. Like I said, that Earth, Wind, and Fire, when that comes on, I'm gonna be rocking. I'm gonna be rocking. Yeah, we always know Quill got some soul in him, so definitely ready for that soundtrack. I have some people of interest, man. You know, the Guardians have come a long. Yeah, the Guardians have come a long way, and it's just, I'm just wondering like who's going to be left. Like we don't know what is going to be left with this team, right? Because we know this is the final chapter of the Guardians that we know of it, and it's going to be a new kind of look for the Guardians. So I don't know what to make of it, but we're gonna have a different look, man, and some people of interest for me in this movie. As far as like what I want to see, as far as like, I'll just get into the people. So like High Evolutionary, I mentioned already. Like I'm very interested to see what he's had his hands on before. Like how long has he been around? Because I mean, he's teamed with Rocket, right? And Rocket's been around for a while. So like, what else has he like been up to? I want to see what else like he has his name on, basically. Like what's his portfolio, basically. I want to see what's going on with that. What all has he touched? Adam Warlock, man. Adam Warlock. I don't think we're going to. I've been seeing some of the reviews. People saying like we don't get that much of Adam Warlock, which is fine because it's a story between the Guardians, man. And I think that, you know, and Adam Warlock isn't the villain. Like he's gonna have his moments, right? But he's like a confused baby, right? So I think that I mostly want to see him show off like, okay, like he's Adam Warlock. What made me get hype about Adam Warlock in the future? That's basically what I want from this movie with him. Give me a little hype for Adam Warlock. See him in the future. I think he's got a lot of opportunity. He's gonna be really strong. He's got a lot of opportunity, and I would like to see him not react, but interact with other characters. I want to see him interact with other characters outside of the Guardians when that comes, right? I think that's a big thing with Marvel right now. Like I think a lot of people want to see these characters that they've introduced to us interact with other characters. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of excited for the Marvels. Like I get to see, you know, three of these ladies interact with each other that they're kind of, you know, Miss Marvel's new, so that's great. We get to see her interact with somebody, Monica Rambeau. We get to see her interact with Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel. So I'm looking forward to more just like interactions. I think we'll be getting more of that, especially when Captain America comes out and Thunderbolts comes out, Deadpool comes out, stuff like that. We'll get a lot more like just interactions between characters. And then my last thing, here's my last person of interest in this is because we know there's a bunch of storylines, right? Like we know, Star-Lord and Gamora, like this is a new Gamora, like that relationship is rocky. We know, Nebula is like a new fit with the team. Mantis is part of Star-Lord's family, like their brother sister. We got Warlock's journey. Drax, is he gonna go out like a warrior, kind of finally be with his family? And then of course the Rocket storyline with the High Evolutionary. With that being said, with that and the Rocket story being the biggest one here, the main focus, I think that Groot to me is a big person of interest in this movie because it's like, what's left of Groot? Like if we're not getting any more Rockets, everybody's speculating Rocket is gonna go, and I've seen some theories too that I want to bring up. But if Rocket is gonna go, what's left for Groot? Or what else can Groot be capable of after this? And I think, especially we've been hearing like we're going to cry our eyes out in this movie. One of my things is that, or one of my small theories is that Groot is going to be the one that makes us bawl our eyes out. I think Groot makes us cry in this movie, because if we're losing Rocket, I think it's a good chance. Like I can just see it. I can see Groot like saying something finally, right? Like more than I am Groot and more than we are Groot. Like imagine if we see Rocket for the last time, or like he's reminiscing about Rocket or something, and he actually like says Rocket's name or something like that. Instead of I am Groot, he like says Rocket for the first time. That'll make people bawl their eyes out. Like I could get it. I can get that being a reason why like people are like crying crazy in this movie. If Groot actually says some stuff, that'd be wild. But that's why he's one of my like people of interest in this movie. Like I was saying before, Rocket is the main character of this movie, and which is really cool. I think it's really cool and clever because in the first and second one, he keeps telling Quill he's the captain of the ship, like he's the MC, he's the main character. And for him to actually be that in this movie, I think that's pretty clever by James Gunn and the creators of this movie. And just that progression from like, the first movie, second movie to the third, and then for him to actually be correct, like I'm the captain, like I'm the main character here. I think that's pretty cool. So definitely looking forward to that. And then just, like I said before, the different storylines. How much will they focus on Star-Lord and Gamora's whole thing? It'll be interesting to see how they balance, like who gets the not main screen time, but like who gets like the main character type of vibes. Because like Star-Lord is obviously like the guy, but like we've been seeing many times, this is a Rocket movie. The Mantis Star-Lord family connection has to play some kind of role here, I think, or else you don't give us that on the holiday special. The holiday special happens. That was the big thing at the end. It's like, hey, you're my brother, and Star-Lord is like, oh my god, like that's wonderful and all that. And like I wonder what kind of role that plays in this movie. Like how is that going to play out? Because it's probably, there's a reason they did it. Like it's got to mean something. And then Drax, like I know it feels like Drax is gonna be gone, because let's just get into the deaths. Let's get into the deaths. Drax, we know Dave Bautista's not gonna play it anymore. I'm pretty sure they're going to give him a warrior's death. Like that feels like it's happening. We know we're not getting Gamora back, man. She said, what's her name? I'm blanking on the name. What is her name? Zoe Saldana. Yeah, she is done playing. She wants to be done playing Gamora. So, you know, she wants somebody else to take the role of Gamora. So it's just gonna be interesting to see where they leave her off to, that character. You know, with her like not being familiar with Quill and all that. So like, what's next for Gamora? And if we get a new person, a new character, like what would that even look like? What would she be doing? Um, yeah, and I also like I'm actually interested in Nebula's fit with the team too. It's like I just really like Nebula's arc with from 1 to the trilogy, or not the trilogy, the holiday special. Um, what she was doing in Endgame and stuff like that. Like her whole arc, I really enjoyed actually. Um, so seeing how she fits in with the team, what does she look like after this movie's going? Um, but yeah, like as far as like who's dying, the High Evolutionary feels like a one and done to me. He doesn't feel like, and I know I've been harping on like villains sticking around. Like don't make that mistake of just killing them off and stuff. He feels like a one and done type of character, which I'm actually okay with. I feel like I'm okay with that. You know, hopefully it'd be nice if they don't kill him off, but like to end this trilogy and for the Guardians to go out on top, it just feels like he feels like a one and done. Especially like going back with the whole Rocket origin, and he's the one that tinkered with him and messed with him, and you know he's the guy that they got to take down. So like it just feels like a one and done. Like I said, Drax feels like he's dead. I know a lot of people, everybody's saying that Rocket is dead. I don't know. I'm pretty sure we're not gonna see him anymore at this movie. But it almost doesn't feel like he's going to die. It feels like one of those, you know how like in Ant-Man Quantumania, we thought that Ant-Man was gonna die, or like somebody was gonna die. They didn't kill anybody. It felt like Ant-Man was gonna die in that movie. I even predicted that, right? So I feel like again is another one of those where like they're kind of trying to show us that he's gonna die. That feels that way. James Gunn tweeting all these Rocket stuff, like Rocket videos and all that. It feels like he's gonna die. I just don't know. I don't know, man. Like I saw a theory out there. I don't know how big this theory is, or how bad this theory is. But I saw one um where like they have to do something at the end where Rocket has to make a decision of like losing himself kind of thing, and that's how he like leaves the team, and that's how like he's not dead, but they lose Rocket because maybe a decision where he has to go back to being a regular raccoon or something like that. He goes back to being a regular raccoon, which means he's not like that person anymore. He's not, you know, the Bradley Cooper personality. He's loses his memory and stuff like that, so he doesn't even know who the Guardians are. I can see that breaking people's hearts too. So I can see that being like another sad way for Rocket to not die, but like we lose Rocket kind of thing, where he goes back to being like a normal animal, and I can see that being kind of crazy. So yeah, I can see that. I see that theory. I don't know about happening, but I can see that being a thing. Yeah, man, I'm excited for High Evolutionary, man, because I just keep hearing he's sick. He's sick in the head, and that's great, you know. And I think there's a chance that people are kind of like, he's so like mean, and he's a villain that's easy to hate. That's what I heard. He's a villain that's very easy to hate because he tinkers with animals. Like, you know, people love animals, man. People love animals, cute animals, all that stuff. He like messes them up badly, tinkers with them because he's a person that believes in perfection and stuff like that. So, he's gonna be messing some of these animals up that we think are cute and all that, and I can see why that would piss a lot of people off, and people want his head on a spike. So, yeah, we'll see. Some of the last things I got for you is I would love. I'm pretty sure we're going to get this. Just like an epic arrow whistling scene with that weapon that Cracklin has. An epic scene. I'm sure we're gonna get it. I don't know what song is going to be played when that's happening, but can't wait for that scene. That's going to be a fun scene. Can't wait for that to happen. And he has that whole thing mastered, I'm pretty sure, in this movie. That's going to be great. Can't wait for that. That's gonna be epic. And then the last thing I got, man, like the post credits. I don't know. I think one is going to be. I don't think we're gonna see many like cameos, or I think they're gonna try to keep this story very Guardians of the Galaxy, almost like how Wakanda Forever was. Like we're gonna just end it on this nice story. If there is one that looks to the future of the MCU, I see a lot of people saying Nova. I think that would be really cool. That'd be really cool if we saw some kind of teaser. Nothing crazy, just some kind of teaser for Nova with the whole Xandar thing. That could be really cool. I'm really interested to see what Nova's gonna be like in the MCU. I want to know more about that character, so I'm hyped for that character to actually come through. And if we get some kind of teaser to that here, that would be amazing. But I haven't really been seeing that online. But I've also not been trying to look at spoilers and stuff like that. I'm trying to go in surprised, like really surprised in this movie. So yeah, I think that could be a scene. And I think another will be it's kind of a heartfelt James Gunn Guardians type of ending. Also saw somebody say like one post credit scene will probably be like his last joke, because he makes a lot of jokes. Like Guardians are known for the comedy. It's a really good blend of comedy and action, and I can see somebody saying like this will be James Gunn's last joke in the MCU, one of those post credits, and that would be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool. I would appreciate that too. But just a heartfelt Guardians of the Galaxy closing end scene would be kind of cool, and then maybe some teaser to Nova. If not Nova, I can see something like Eternals related maybe, but we'll see. I'm hoping that is it. I think my last question would be, does this movie crack $1 billion? Will this movie crack $1 billion? I'm not sure. I don't. If I were to guess, I would put it like I think it would make around 800, like a little bit over 800. I think partly because of where it's placed. I think some of these movies, if they were to come after, like if this movie came after Wakanda Forever, I think it may have a better chance. But the fact that it's coming off of Quantumania, which didn't do so well, and people kind of skeptical in Marvel right now, like I think that's going to affect it, right? And or like if it came off the back of No Way Home, or came off the back of Endgame or something, where like people are still riding a high and want that Marvel content, I think it may have a chance. But here I'm not sure, because I know there's a lot of other movies coming out very soon too, so it's gonna have some competition, I think. We'll see, but like my guess right now would be like 800. I'd say 800. But yeah, man, I think that's about it as far as like what I'm looking forward to and all of that, man. Like other than that, I was gonna show some trailers, but I think we've already seen the trailers. We're ready to watch this movie and everything. So yeah, man, that's all I got for you guys, man. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Enjoy the movie. I'm going to enjoy it. I will make a podcast kind of review, spoiler review. Not even review. We're just gonna discuss it. We're gonna talk about it. Go over the movie a little bit. Probably have a special guest on the podcast, and so be on the lookout for that. And everybody enjoy the movie. Have a wonderful weekend. Make sure you super smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel, man. Love talking about this Marvel stuff. Got a lot of stuff on the channel. Anime related, a lot of anime stuff. I'm heavy into anime right now, but definitely about to get back on my Marvel grind. So, and happy to go see this movie. excited for James Gunn to close this thing on out. I know I'm gonna be. I'll probably shed a tear. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll probably shed a tear. Hopefully I'm not crazy off the floor, like mount me off the floor type of crime, but yeah, it's gonna be emotional for sure. We're gonna have a lot of laughs, and I'm looking forward to it. I don't think James Gunn has made a bad Guardians movie. I know how people feel about Guardians 2 and whatever. I still enjoy Guardians 2. I think it's funny as hell. Yeah, looking forward to it, man. I think he's gonna do a good job, and I think the cast is gonna do a good job. I'm ready to see these storylines that I was talking about, like see how some of these storylines play out. So and then just see what's next for whatever Guardians team there is. See what's left of them, and what the future holds for some of these characters. So yeah, man, looking forward to it. Hopefully it's a great movie and they impress us, and it's have a good time, man. I think Guardians is meant to have a good time. That soundtrack and everything can't go wrong. So let's do that, and I'm gonna see you guys in a different video next time. Thank you for tuning in. This is Dennis Smith, the Alternate Timeline. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day.